Hi folks, it's Roz here, and some exciting news today from the kitchen cam. Um, Last night I hit the publish button on The Gifts of Solitude. So at the moment the book is under review by Amazon, as all ebooks are, and they promised me that it should go live and available on Amazon within the next 72 hours. So I'll be sure to let you know just as soon as that happens. So we are all systems go. But in the meantime, I wanted to share with you another one of my little insights that I share in the book. And you might have heard me talking about this one before. I call it the retrospective perspective. And it's a technique that I learned when I was on the Atlantic. And I don't know about you, but is time doing weird things while we're in lockdown? Do you find that days go slowly but weeks go quickly? It's really strange. And I'm also finding it really hard to think ahead to a time when this is over, when we can actually hug people and socialise and maybe even go to the pub. It's very hard to imagine my way into the future normal. And the downside of that is that it can feel like this is just dragging on forever. And I know when I was on the Atlantic, it really, really felt like that. The voyage was 3.5 months, felt more like 3.5 years. There were days when dry land just seemed like a dim and distant memory. I just couldn't remember what life had been like before I got onto that 23-foot rowboat and set out to row 3,000 miles across the Atlantic. And I really, really struggled with that. I found it so hard. On the one hand, with mindfulness, we're told to always be present, like always be in the now, which is really, really good advice because often we get distracted by the past or by the future, and it's really good to bring our attention back to the present moment. But it can also work against us when we feel like now is all there is, and especially when it's not a now that we particularly like. We want this now to be over. So how do we manage to persuade our brains that this too shall pass? And I got a really great bit of advice while I was on the Atlantic from a friend of mine called Adrian Flanagan, who was off on his own oceany exploit at the time. He was aiming to become the first person to circumnavigate the Earth via the polar regions. So lots of people had sailed around the world, kind of around the equator-ish, but he was aiming to go via the Arctic and the Antarctic. So he was also out there on his own for long periods of time, and we were communicating by satellite phone. And I'd been sharing with him how I was just really struggling, feeling very low, feeling very overwhelmed, feeling like this was endless. And he sent me this little message saying, remember, it doesn't have to be fun to be fun. One day this will all be over and you will have, become this person who's done this epic feat, and just think about how great it's going to be in the pub after this is all over when you're sharing your salty old sea stories. And I just found that perspective so helpful. And I came to call it the retrospective perspective, because what you're really doing is reminding yourself that one day what's now will be in the past. And it also helped me to decide, how do I want to show up now in such a way that in the future, looking back on now, I can feel proud of the way that I conducted myself. Like, did I keep showing up? Did I maintain discipline? Did I keep my spirits going? Can I feel proud of how I got through that? So I found it a really helpful perspective that I think of, that I've thought of many, many times over the years. And I also just wanted to share a little practice that I have every day. Maybe some of you have an oracle deck or a deck of cards with some kind of wisdom that you use on a regular basis. Well, this is mine. I want you to know I'm not on commission. This is just me sharing as a friend. The Tao Oracle cards. And the clue to the wisdom here is in the yin-yang symbol in the middle. And basically what these cards boil down to is, if things are good today, pay attention, because it's not going to last forever. If things are bad today, pay attention, because it's not going to last forever. So what I take away from that is accepting what is right here in the now, knowing it's not going to last forever, and whether we label it good or label it bad, for now it is what it is. And how do I conduct myself in a way of which I can be proud when I look back on this in the future? So I will leave you with that thought. I'll be putting out another video very soon when my ebook and my paperback go live on Amazon. Very reasonably priced, $3.49 or £2.99 for the ebook, coming soon to an Amazon store near you. So stay tuned for that. Meanwhile, stay safe, stay articulate, stay sane, and stay as happy as you can in present circumstances. Sending you love and best wishes wherever you are in the world. Take care.